Thank you to all of you for joining me here today to celebrate the astonishing success of a truly extraordinary effort. The 10-year capital campaign for Washington and the world that came to a triumphant close on June 30th, having raised nearly $600 million for the College of Arts and Sciences and over $6 billion for the University of Washington. No public university anywhere in the world has ever mounted such a campaign before, and we could not have done it without the support of every one of you. The university, the college, and I as dean are profoundly grateful to you for what you have done. And first and foremost, I want to say thanks. I will confess that I had imagined a somewhat larger crowd for this celebration. We had hoped to have a great many of you here with us today to celebrate this achievement, to reflect on all the things that your gifts have made possible, and to dream about all the things that this campaign will make possible in the years to come. That would have been grand. But the COVID-19 virus had other ideas. And so today, I can only address you virtually rather than in person. But we're Huskies, and as Huskies have always done, we adapt and we thrive, even in the harshest conditions. And we do so because we know that we've been through worse. Heck, we went through worse 10 years ago when we began this campaign. 2010, the world was in the midst of the Great Recession. The legislature had just cut its financial support for the University of Washington by 52%. The UW had just launched a search for a new president. The College of Arts and Sciences faced its own uncertainties regarding leadership. And we'd been handed a huge goal to raise $400 million, half again as much as we'd ever raised before. But 10 years later, here we are. That $400 million goal is far behind us now, barely visible in the rearview mirror. We wound up raising more than twice as much money as we'd ever raised before, and in so doing, we have transformed the college. Here is what your gifts will mean. $180 million will support educational programs. $160 million will advance human knowledge through research. $70 million will enhance and modernize our buildings. Another $70 million will provide direct support to our faculty. $55 million will provide financial aid to our students. And $55 million in discretionary funding will support areas of emerging and pressing need. A large part of this funding is in the form of endowments, which will continue to support these purposes in perpetuity. These numbers are extraordinary, but they do not tell the most important part of the story. They only hint at the people whose lives your generosity has changed. The students who will find a home and a path in the College of Arts and Sciences, many of them the first in their families to go to college. The new Burke Museum, which is transforming our university's relationship with the world around us and with the indigenous peoples of this region in which we live together. The thousands of students and hundreds of faculty who do critical research in state-of-the-art facilities, such as the new Life Sciences building and the newly renovated Kincaid Hall. The artists whose creative residencies, commissioned performances, and boundary-breaking work are making the arts a vital part of every student's UW experience. Curricular innovations in the humanities that are reinvigorating and expanding study of the world's languages, literatures, and cultures. And the advances in human rights, criminal justice reform, language preservation, and clean energy that are making our world a healthier and better place for all of us to live. So what does all this mean for our students, our faculty, and our college? In a word, it means opportunity. Apart from life itself, the greatest gift that one person can give to another. Your generosity has created opportunity in the form of financial aid, support for research, recruitment and retention of faculty, new buildings, equipment, and educational initiatives. In important ways, we will be a different college going forward, and that will be because of you. And in many ways, we will need to be a different college because the world is not standing still. The events of the past several years have made clearer than ever how much work we have yet to do to repair and restore our world. Climate change and global warming will test our capacity to adapt and thrive, and perhaps even to survive. The imperatives of social and racial justice cannot wait any longer for us to address them. Our governmental institutions are straining in the face of unprecedented challenges from across the political spectrum. And even our capacity to reason together across differences appears more and more fragile. The world will need, now more than ever, the kind of education the College of Arts and Sciences provides. An education that is both broad and deep, that teaches students to think from multiple perspectives and to understand the world through eyes other than their own. This is what we do, and as we have in the past, we will in the future continue to rely upon your support to help us do it. As many of you know already, I will be stepping down as dean and retiring from the University of Washington at the end of the current academic year. So if you will indulge me for a moment, I would like to end my remarks today with a few reflections on what your support for this campaign has meant to me personally. First of all, the success of this campaign has been for me a powerful affirmation that the breadth and depth of an arts and sciences education still has meaning. That the liberal arts tradition that speaks to the connections between the arts, humanities, the natural and social sciences is still vital after 2,500 years. And that this educational ideal, to which I have devoted my life, continues to matter to all of you just as it does to me. The world needs the kind of thoughtful, engaged, open-minded, and committed people that a liberal arts education exists to foster. A democracy cannot survive without it. Second, and no less important, the success of this campaign has shown that the College of Arts and Sciences is still the beating heart of the University of Washington, and that at UW, undergraduate education matters and will continue to matter long after I have departed from the stage. Third, a campaign like this is about the future, but at the same time, it is also about the past. It is a statement about the importance of preserving and strengthening ancient institutions, and universities are among the most ancient of all our contemporary institutions. It is a statement that the past will continue to matter in a future that we cannot predict. But what we do know is that a future without the liberal arts is a future not worth having. In its largest sense, our college stands for a vision of our common humanity. Through this campaign, you have helped to secure our college's future. And in so doing, we have together made a declaration of allegiance to a vision of human possibility that all of us need now more than ever. We have kept a lantern burning that will guide those who will walk in our footsteps as they push forward in new directions and on different paths. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And please join me in raising a toast to all of you for what you have done together to make this campaign such a remarkable success. To you, to our common purposes, and to life. L'chaim. Thank you. And for today, goodbye.